Canadiens coach Claude Julien put Alex Galchenyuk back at center instead of using Paul Byron and Charles Hudon to replace Phillip Danault down the middle?
I think he won't put him there because the general manager doesn't want him to. I think Marc Bergevin has made it clear that he's not a center, he's a winger. He said, I don't have to see that anymore. Listen, I wouldn't have a problem with him going back there. I know he is not a good player in his own end. He is weak defensively. But if you're looking at this team moving forward, you want to get better, you're going to retool. Put him at center, let him play there and see what he does. You know, live with the mistakes. I can see why coaches don't want to put him on the ice at center ice. You know, because in close games, any game, forget that. I don't think the offensive upside outweighs the defensive liability. And when I've been adamant about this, and I agree with the coach and the general manager in the fact that he can't play in his own end. He just does not know where he is. At this point in time in his career, he should have picked up some of this now and been more responsible in his own end, and he's not. It's too bad because, again, you know, he's a guy that can help this team offensively. If he could only just pick up that part of the game, it'd be better for him, it'd be better for the team.
Well, I think the ship has sailed, and it was made clear at the Canadiens golf tournament, as Chris said, when Marc Bergevin said, I don't need to see him play any more games at center, that's what it is, and Marc Bergevin has made up his mind, and we all know what happens when Marc Bergevin makes up his mind. It's final.
Well, to me, like putting Paul Byron at center almost isn't fair to Paul Byron. Like, you know, I mean, I can see, okay, you don't want Galchenyuk to play center, but an injury. He's the most logical choice to put back there as opposed to, but you know, Charles Hudon at center, Paul Byron, it's never going to happen. But it's interesting you talking about playing in your own zone, Chris. I know you've told me before when you were playing, even though you were in a center, all three guys in your line had to know how to play in their own zone. There wasn't an option, right?
And they would work on it in practice. The winger would play as a center, both wingers. Bob Gainey would do it 3 times. I'd do it 3 times. Carbonell would do it 3 times. And you had to know. You had to learn how to read and react. And you did that in practice. Again, repetition's the key to retention. And if the more you do it, the more you see it, the more you're doing it in practice. When it comes time for the game, you're able to read that play quick and react to it instead of being standing there or turning your back to the puck and panicking, not knowing where you are. And, you know, I learned under some great coaches as far as how to play down low. And I can see it, you know. I can see it when it's done wrong. It's so easy to read because I've done it for so long and I feel comfortable with that. It's in the other end that I have my problem.
Can Galchenyuk just take a summer and just learn and get better at playing in his own end? Does it not work like that?
No, you gotta.
I think part of what frustrated.
You can show, you know, on tape and all that, but you have to do it in practice. And you have to keep repeating it until you understand it and you get it. I'm amazed that he hasn't gotten it by now. I really am.
There's a certain willingness to it as well.
Yeah,
So
that's where the frustration with Bergevin comes, and I think they've tried to teach him, and it's not
hasn't come. Yeah.
Is it a lack of work ethic, or just not working with him, and he just isn't that player, and he's just not going to get
maybe just
hockey sense.
Hockey sense.
All right. Go to hockeyinsideout.com right now and check out this week's full episode.